Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Stringman Guitars. We have here a 2016 SG. It's in pretty good shape, but because of the humidity, the neck's got a little back bow to it. We're going to throw some different strings on it. It's in pretty good shape. Case debris. Nice looking guitar. It's got those so-called school bus frets. It's some guy at a guitar show complaining to me about. I don't like those. I want them changed. I don't see a problem with them. But that's me, so let's get this party started. He wants to go with those 1046. See, is there not a wrench? I'll find a wrench. Hey boys and girls, welcome back. So here is our conundrum. You see the hole there, and I have got Stringman, Carvin, Lowe's. Nothing will fit in over that truss rod because of the way that it is cut. So I hope that Buddy's Gibson tool will work. I gotta call him and get that. But as far as inspecting the guitar, we've gotten to the point where just upon inspection the neck is backbowed a little bit, so we have to loosen the truss rod. The tailpiece it had to be put way up in the air because of the neck angle on this Gibson. Alrighty boys and girls, we have had to go to Reverb to find the correct truss rod. Wrench, we've made a little bit of an adjustment. Let's see where we are. Gibson wants 12 thousandths at the 7th fret, and we are there. Okay, so then Gibson wants, here we go, they want 5/64 at the 12th fret, and we are at way too low. Let's see here. Yeah, let's go up a little bit on that. Hold it. Had the capo on. Okay. We're at 4/64. We could go up a little bit. But I don't know if I want to do that because, let's see what it is down here. They want 3/64. Why is that so high? And like 8/64 on the high E. Let's bring that down some, shall we? Almost down to 3. That's going to make a world of difference We're talking about clearing that back of the saddle. let's see where we ended up after all that adjustment. I'm still liking that truss rod adjustment. Our at the 12th fret, we're at 3 and a little bit more than 4 there, so we want to come up actually. Yeah, I think these, the nut was cut for a set of 9s actually, and what are on here are 10s. So definitely gonna, I mean, they're not sticking right now, but we're gonna put some nut sauce on there. Now that I got that stuff and checked out how it worked, I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll say that word all the time now. Okay, after all the fudging of the height adjustment, you want to make sure that your a piece of paper will slide between your string and the back of your bridge. You don't want this pushed all the way down so the string is bending over that. That'll cause a buzz, it'll cause sustain issues. You don't want the string touching the back of this. We've got it pretty close to where we want it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stop the camera and I'm going to restring it. And we're going to use some of my new favorite thing, Big Ben's nut sauce. Yeah, baby. Alright, so yeah, that's what we're going to do. So now as you see that all the strings are loose, we can take our low-tack tape off, take our eraser, and then we could take all of our strings and cut the ends. Now I want to widen the strings all the way across. So the first one, I don't want to make them deeper. I'm taking some 15,000 sandpaper. Make it so it doesn't, at that point you got to take a, where's my 4? Put a little 4,000 just open them up just a hair, because you don't want the string binding that we were experiencing before. And you take your 10 mil, make sure everything's snug, Not tight, not like cranking tight, just snug. Okay. Alright, so everything is where we want it. Put this back on here where the screws were in the back. Okay, so as you see, we've got all the new strings in there. These are, by the way, Dia, whatever the hell they call them. 1046. And there you go. So that stays there. I'm going to take and put a little bit of just a little bit of graphite in the slot to help with the binding. Okie dokie, we are now got our new strings on, and we got to stretch them in. And that means on this side of the nut too. You don't stretch the plain strings nearly as much, because there's not much to stretch there, but you still do a little bit. Also back here behind the tailpiece, or behind the bridge in front of the tailpiece. If I could get my words straight in one video, I will be happy. Okay, let me finish doing this and I'll turn it up and we'll see where we're at. Okie dokie, Smokey. We don't need that much volume. Okay, last thing we have to do here is, well, just so you know, because I didn't film it, the 12th fret was buzzing. The 13th fret, both the 12th and the 13th were a hair high, so we took them down a little bit just using fret erasers. Didn't have to take the strings off, just loosen them off and pulled them away. And so what we used was an 800 grit, a medium grit, which is, I don't know, it feels like, I'm sorry, this was 600. This is like an 800, maybe a 900, maybe 1,000. And this is super fine. And then I took 1500 sandpaper using the fret protector to make it so that we don't get there was no choking. So, and we have got about 4/64 there, and we have 4/64 there. Actually, let's see. That's 4, and that's below 4. So the ideal is, I mean, Gibson calls for they don't want to have any buzzing up there, so they want 5. But if you can get away with 4/64 down there, you're in good shape. And then your high E, they actually want 3. This guitar can't do 3. It'll do 4, or just a hair lower than 4/64. So I'm happy with that. We're going to call this done. I'm going to let it sit for an hour and I'll come back and check it. And I'll call the rightful owner and we will get it back to him. Until then, guys, take care of each other. Love your neighbor. Peace.